Places have changed, faces have aged. Memories are starting to fade, one day at a time. Remember, I'm here with you. You're trying so hard just to keep up. Every day's a chance to restart. I'll still be here, trying to pull you through. Every word that's forgotten, every note left unsung. Trust in me, just hold my hand and take me with you. Bring me into a world no one else can walk through. Hold my hand, 'cause I'm still with you. Love teaches hope, that love teaches joy, enable the ones who are frozen in time. Imagine our hearts choosing to shine on a journey that's yours and mine, yours and mine. Hold my hand and take me with you. Bring me into a world no one else can walk through. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. 'Cause I'm still with you.
When I was young, you held me near. Storms would pass and I never fear. Your smile and kisses I'd hold so dear helped me to be strong. Remember places we've explored, sights and sounds above us all. Memories you don't recall are those I've not forgot. When we cannot see, doesn't mean we'll get lost. When we cannot hear, it doesn't mean we cannot talk. Those crazy years of fighting are now long gone, and I hope you'll sing to me once more. The things
Welcome to the Enabling Festival 2020. I'm Guan, your festival host this year. Now, due to the present pandemic situation, the Enabling Festival 2020 will be traveling into your home. Now, the festival aims to explore, challenge, and shape perceptions and understanding of dementia and caregiving through technology and the creative arts. Now, this year, we will focus on the sense of sight with the theme, Do You See What I See? We have curated many exciting programs for you this year, so please visit us at this website below to see what we have to offer. Now, please enjoy the upcoming program. Welcome to Insights, a segment of the Enabling Festival where we look at how to keep our brains active through visual stimulation. I have with me today our special guest, Dr. Tang Juel Hoi, who is the chairman and CEO of Neurocode Research. Now, Dr. Tang is no stranger to our festival because he has spoken twice at our festival in the year 2018 and 2019. We're indeed very happy and very honored that he's back with us today, and let's welcome him, Dr. Tang. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you.
Now, I understand you've had 2 decades of a very busy time with Neurocode Research Private Limited. Would you like to share a little bit more about that with us, please?
Okay, yeah. So Neurocode Research, we spend a lot of time into understanding human brains and how we can help to improve our brain functions and cognitive functions. So we use visual and audio stimuli. So today I'm going to share with you a bit on how part of our technology to help people to enhance their brain power and to enhance also their mental wellness, like distressed, people who have sleep challenges, how do we help them to sleep better?
Now, I understand the brain is actually very complex. So how would you help us understand a little bit more about the brain? And what will you be sharing with us today?
Okay, the brain has many parts responsible for different functions of our body. You know, the brain controls every part of our body. But in summary, there are 2 key parts of our brain. One is the physical matter. That means the brain itself, we call it. So it's like your computer, the hardware itself. So in that part, we use a lot of stimuli, like, for example, oscillation, sound wave, to actually help the brain. The other part of our brain actually is the software part. It's our thinking process, our thought process, our emotions. So those part is a psychological part of our brain, right? So that part we use methods, we use psychological methods to help a person.
Interesting. Yes. So with that in mind, I guess I'll leave it to you to share with us a little bit more about brain enhancement through visual stimuli.
Okay, thank you. Today I'm going to share with you about how we use visual stimuli, pictures, shapes, objects, to basically help a person to enhance his brain power. Let me begin by sharing a little bit about the mystery of our human brain. An adult has about 100 billion neurons in our brain. So neurons are brain cells, right? Each connected to a neighbors by another 5,000 synapses. So connecting about trillions of connections in our brain. That is called a large neural network. So our brain functions by connections. When our neurons are connected, the particular cognitive functions start to work. Right? When it's disconnected, it's not working anymore. It's just like the switch and your light bulbs, right? If they're not connected, your switch cannot control the light bulbs. So in a pictorial form, this is how it looks like. If you look into this short animation, this is the neurons, the dots, and these are the connections. So the connections are the jungle in our brain, right? This is microscopic view. And so there are trillions of connections in our brain. And the interesting thing about human is when a baby is born, we only have 20% of our brain is connected. So 80% of our brain cells are not connected. It's like you buy a computer with only a Microsoft Windows installed, no other software. Okay. Right? So your brain cannot function. So what that means is 80% of human functions we do not have yet. So we only have 20% human functions. So things like talking or walking, a baby can't do that. Right. When a baby is born and starts to say, hello, daddy, how are you? No? Right. You'll be very amazed, right? You'll be very scared. Right. As compared to an animal is born with 80 to 90% of the neurons connected. Okay. So when a little puppy is born, No, he'll start to run, start to bark in minutes. You don't have to take 1 year for a dog to learn how to walk or how to bark. But human will take a year to learn how to walk and how to talk. All right. So in the first phase of our development, we call it the growing phase, where our brain will rapidly connect all our brain cells. So because of external stimuli, because of light, sound, visual, audio getting into our brain start to function. So our neurons start to connect and forming a lot of connections. That's where our knowledge, our experience start to form. So we'll go all the way until about 30 years old. When we reach 30 years old, that is about the peak of our human brain. That means we have a lot of neurons, 80–90% are connected. Our cognitive functions are very strong, right? Your experience, your knowledge are all there. And then you go on to the second half of our life cycle. That is after 40 years, 30 to 40 years. After 40 years, we'll go through another phase of our development, which is our aging phase. So this is like our body, right? When we're young, we exercise, we train our muscle, we become so strong. You know, after 40 years, you start to slacken again your muscle, right? So that's called the aging phase. In this aging phase, the neuron will start to disconnect or break up, right? So whatever we have connected, whatever knowledge we have gained, experience, they start to disconnect. That means we start to be forgetful. So the very first early symptom, right? People forget to bring their keys out, forget to bring their phones, you know, start to think that, you know, I just see you, I remember you, but I can forget your name, right? So these are early symptoms of aging, right? So we will continue to age. That's a natural process until about 60 years old. Our neuron connection in our brain is only 50% left. So half of them is gone. That's under normal circumstances. In the extreme circumstances, when a person is in the younger days, in his mid-life career, he's working very hard, either in a corporate job or he's an entrepreneur who sleeps very few hours. So he has short sleep, yes, very highly stressed. So in this case, the aging process will become accelerated. You accelerate. It's a rubber band. You keep pulling a rubber band, you'll break, right? So in that case, he will not stop at 50%, but he will go back one cycle to where he starts.
Only 20%.
So you go back to 20%. So this is a stage we call dementia. When a person cannot even take care of himself, cannot bathe, cannot eat, be very forgetful, sometimes they don't even remember the person next to them, right? So it's not a baby born. It's a newborn baby. You still have the 20% function that you are born with, but a lot of knowledge you have gained through our life, we have forgotten, right? So there's something that a lot of young people should understand. Don't always blame your parents, you know. Because some people will say, how come my parents, when they grow older, they become so childish, right? Or they are very unreasonable. It's not them, it's their brain, right? Because they've gone through the whole process of stress. They have bring you up, they have taught you everything you need to know. You learn everything, but they have lost all the thing. At the end, they forget. So it's time we help them back. So that is important, right, in this process. So understanding the whole brain cycle is important. So in our research, we focus on two key areas. The first area we focus is what we call brain stimulations. In the brain growing phase, when this neuron is rapidly connecting, we are creating sound wave, visual effects to help the brain to connect in a systematic way, in a controlled manner, in a very positive way. So there's no stress in that phase. The other second half of our research focus on brain enhancement sound wave. So this is where our research focus on how do we maintain the neuron connections? How do we slow down the process of neuron disconnections or breakup, right? So that is what we want. So when a person at 60 years old, I'm coming to 60 years old, next year I'll be 60 years old, and my brain is to keep at 40 years old. So we want to maintain our brain at 40 years old. We can still run, we can still exercise, we can still be very active, right? So that is what our whole research based on. Okay, next I'm going to share with you some examples, right? I'm going to share with you some example from psychological point of view and also from neuroscience point of view. Let's begin with the psychological point of view. This is something very interesting. So what we call neuro perspective. The world is what we think, it's what we see, but it's not what it is. So we think this is right, this is wrong, this is black, this is green, and sometimes we are so adamant about it, right? Some people are so adamant, this is right. But it's not so. There's a lot more complication than what we are, because our brain makes decisions on all the senses that we have. A normal human have 5 senses, your sight, your hearing, your taste, your touch and your smell, right? So these 5 senses eventually get into your brain. The signal, the information is transmitted to your brain, and your brain processes and makes a decision. So today I'm going to do some very challenging thing for you. Let's look at neural perspective. I'm going to use just 2 pictures to illustrate this concept.
Neural perspective.
Yes. So a very simple picture like this, right? You see 2 orange lines, one on the left and one on the right. So from a normal human point of view, which line is longer? So in all my seminars, 80% or 90% of people will say the right is longer, right? And of course, there will be 50% of people, some 20% of people will say they are the same, right? So it's interesting, right? So if you really look at these lines, I'm going to remove the background. What is interesting here is there's a background picture, right? And that actually cause you to think, right? So we're going to remove it. When we remove this background picture, you start to see things differently, right? And we do it more mathematical. So if you see here, when we do 2 parallel lines here, the one on the left is longer than the line on the right, right? So if you put back the drawing now, you see it again. So we now see, even if I tell you that this line on the right is indeed shorter than the line on the left, it's very difficult to convince your brain.
That's
right?
true.
Because our brain processes using subconscious processing. So what is subconscious? Here, if you see this line, is 1/3 of this wall. Whereas this line is 3/3 of the wall. So subconsciously, your brain thinks that this line is longer than this because it takes up the whole wall, right? So that is how our brain can be tricked, right? So this is where stimulus happens in our brain, and our brain makes decisions based on subconscious states.
Very interesting.
Yes. So next, I'm going to show you another picture. In this picture, there are 2 blocks, right? So my question is, in these 2 blocks, the one on top and the one below, which is darker? It's quite obvious, right? You may be laughing. This is an obvious question, right? This definitely is darker than this. But it may not be so. It may not be so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the center with a black line. Now, if you look at it again, you will realize that actually they are the same, right? Or if I remove this line, you can try cover this with your finger. You know, put your finger in the middle, right? Sometimes when I do animation, people say you change the picture. So I don't change anything. Just put anything to color the middle part. You will see that these 2 are exactly the same.
Same color.
But why, when it's not covered, you see this darker than this? That again is how our brain processes information.
I see.
Right. Because the middle part here is brighter than here. It is indeed brighter. So your brain actually extrapolates this and thinks this has to be brighter than this.
Right.
So that's how our brain works. Right. So this is the psychological part. We're not going to the hardware part. This is still on the software part. How we make decisions, how we think, and how we see things. Right? It's called the psychological part. I'm going to let you see one more very interesting animation here. Look at this animation, and if you focus in the cross in the middle for just about 10 seconds, in fact even 2 or 3 seconds, you start to see a green ball running.
I already see it.
You have already seen it, right? And if you are really very focused, you see only green balls and no other balls, right? So that is what you see. Every human being, when they focus in the middle, they will see a green ball. Okay, let's reset everything now. I'm going to reset this and just follow me through. Look at my pointer, you just follow through one round. What color of ball do you see? They're all pink.
You're right.
There is no green ball from beginning to now at all. So where does the green ball come from?
When you focus on the cross, right?
Your brain created it.
I see.
Color is created in our brain. That's interesting, okay? Our brain creates color, and I can guide you to create what color you want to see. So here is a green ball that you created in your brain.
Okay.
Right, so that's the interesting part of our research. Let's see one more. One more picture. This is a very simple behavioral picture on psychology. A simple chair and a person walking towards the chair, right? So the man is going to sit on the chair. So in your mind, you already have some idea, right? How he's going to sit, right? Is this what you thought? No.
Actually, no, I thought it's going to be the front.
A normal human behavior, you would think he's going to sit from here.
That's right.
But this is not. This is the back of the chair. These are arms of the chair. So he's going to sit from there, right? So that is how the system works. Okay, now I'm going to our key, what we call visual stimulus. What I'm showing you just now, what I've shown you is just psychological part. We're not going into the hardware. Now we're going to the hardware part, your gray matter itself, your brain cell itself. How can we stimulate and how can we improve? Here we're going to introduce a technology we call chroma charts. Chroma charts come from the scientific word called chromatography, which is colors. So we're going to use color to stimulate your brain. Let me just show you one very interesting picture. So this is a photo, a black and white photo, right? Try it with me. Just look at the nose of this lady. You know there are 3 dots there. Just look at the red dot. Just look at the red dot for a couple of seconds. Let me do a countdown of 10 seconds. Just come with me. So look at the red dot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now look at the cross. If you focus on the cross, you start to see the whole lady in full picture.
Yes.
And in full colors. So where does the color come from? The amazing thing is you see her in full color. So this was like the olden days, you know, we had this negative of a film. In the olden days, we have Kodak, we have all this Fujifilm that we have to send to the shop to develop the photos, right? So this actually is black and white. But our brain is able to reproduce color inside your brain, right? And that's how we stimulate your brain. And I'm going to show you our chroma chart. And this is the product we developed. We use geometry, very simple geometry. The 4 basic colors here. Of course, in the advanced, we will start to go into shades of colors. But we begin with very, very simple basic colors. So if you look at this chart for 10 seconds again, let's just focus on this cross for 10 seconds. All right, let's try 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you see purple here, you see blue here, you see yellow here. It's interesting? You see colors here, right? Ah. And if you hold for a few seconds, you see there's no color at all actually.
Right.
Actually, I never put any color here. This is a black and white pictures. But for a few seconds, you created that color in your brain. Not only do you create color in your brain, the interesting thing is this stimuli is controlled stimuli. What does that mean? You see, just now you see purple here and you see blue here, right? But there is no purple and there is no blue in the original picture. Why? Why then do we see purple and blue? Right. This is interesting. Let me share you a little bit on how brain works. This is because in our whole life, we see colors wrongly. Interesting?
Really?
Right. Because, you see, let's go back one step backwards. The basic physics of lights is that this world has no color. Do you believe it? This world has no color. You say, can't be. You are so beautiful, so many pretty colors around me, right? But indeed, this world has no color. Color is created by human brains. Many animals in this world see everything in black and white. There's no color at all.
Yes.
If you don't believe me, you go home tonight, switch off your lights. In the middle, 2 a.m., you see what is the color of the floor? It's black. The wall is black. Everything is black. So what is color to us? Color is reflection of light.
Right.
From the sunlight, from our artificial lights. When light shines on an object, it reflects back to you, and your eyeball is an optical device. It captures the light, it gets into your lens, focus into your retina, and the retina receives the signal, it interprets the signal, and it sends it to your brain. So your brain ultimately interprets the color. So in your whole life, you're seeing reflected colors. So this color actually is not yellow. But we are seeing yellow because all of us see yellow. We accept it yellow, right? But when you are focusing on this color, what happens is your brain is accepting images in, right? Your eyeball keeps capturing images, your retina keeps sending images to your brain, and what we call image stacking. Image is stacked in your brain. A lot of images, same images keep stacking up. Suddenly you remove everything. When everything is gone, your brain goes into a vacuum state. So actually you switch into what we call the creative mind, the right brain. You start to create a set of invert color, which is the reverse of this color. So invert is a technical word. In normal term, we call it reverse color. So the reverse color of yellow actually is purple, right? Those who understand, if you don't understand, go to your computer, your paintbrush, you key in your yellow 00 and 255, you understand. That's the exact reverse color. So the reverse color of red is blue. right? So that is how it works in our brain. So through this, we use this to stimulate. This is very, very effective tool. We can use this to train memory systems, right? Why is it effective? Is because you will never know what color is going to appear, right? You can't cheat. You can't memorize in our classes, right? Some children, being children, sometimes they want to a bit naughty, right? You tell them, look at this chart, they'll start to look at the chart and they'll start to remember the color by heart. Yellow, red, blue. So when you switch the color, you ask them, what color do you see? Yellow, red, blue, all wrong, right? Because you can't. Your brain will create the set of colors. It's not by heart memory, it's not by anything else, but that is how your brain works, right? So that's what we call chroma charts. So chromatography is a very interesting part of our research. Right. I'm going to introduce one more to you, which is our sound wave. We use two key stimulus, pictures, and the other one is sound, audio. All right? So neuro sound wave is our proprietary technology. We filed 8 patents in this technology. And let me just show you what neuro sound wave is all about. We created sound wave through 2 techniques. One is called binaural beats, the other one is called brain entrainment. Brain entrainment works on synchronization and harmonics of your brain. We are trying to create a stage of resonance. So when you put a wave in your brain, and when the wave resonates with the cells in the brain, your brain will follow our oscillations, in a rhythmic oscillation, systematic oscillations. That's how we help human brains to start to function. Right? So for people who are going to early stage of dementia, or even in coma stage, we even work on coma patients, we put wave into their brain because at that stage, even dopamine, even your strong medicine cannot help. There's very little amount of a percentage of drugs or medicine or even nutrition that can get into our brain. Because our brain is at the highest part of our body. It's anti-gravity. And the only conduit into your brain is your neck. Our brain sits on a brain stem, which connects to our neck and our spine, right? And there are a few very small veins that delivers nutrient to your brain, oxygen, blood, nutrients. So if any of these veins get into some problem, we immediately get into a stage called stroke, right? Your brain cell will die because there's no supply of oxygen, your brain cell will die. When the brain cell dies, that particular function cannot work. So the cognitive function will be impaired. So what that means is that your brain starts to get into problem. So we want to stimulate this brain. We want to help this brain to start to work again. It's an exercise machine. We know physically. We go to the gym, right? Because we go to the gym, we exercise, or we exercise at home, we run, we play games. So when we exercise, our body becomes stronger and stronger. Same thing as our brain. If our brain is not used or not exercised well, not stimulated well, it starts to degenerate the functions. We start to get into what we call cognitive impairment. That's how we start to lose memory, we start to lose even like spatial functions. You can't judge distance, you tend to fall down when you walk. Right. So neuro sound wave is a technology we developed to help to stimulate this brain. Right. After we created the wave, what we will do is we'll embed this wave. We technically embed it into music. Right. And then we form, music is a normal song, any song that we create. Right. And then when this product happens, this is how we get it, the final product. When this sound wave is embedded into music, we get a music embedded with sound wave. Of course, we go through mathematical algorithms. We use a lot of AI software to do them, right? So this is like, adding milk into coffee, right? Example, right? So the music is a medium of carrier to carry the wave into our human brains. So that is what we call neuro sound wave. Right. If you're interested to experience this, you can try it free of charge. We have a website, neurosoundwave.com. We have a free trial. You can just try it for your personal interest, and it's free of charge, for people to sample these waves. So neuro sound wave and our chroma charts, our basically visual and audio stimuli, has a lot of applications today. One of our key areas is to improve learning ability of children, school children, enhance athletic performance, sleep therapy, stress therapy during this period where things are very stressful, business, economy, even movement of humans are affected, right? So we need to resolve some of these issues. Autistic child, hyperactive child, depression, and dementia. So dementia is one of our key areas. And today, our 2 key areas of research into improving learning ability and to prevent dementia. How do we prevent people like us, you know, I'm reaching 60 years old. I do not want to lose 50% of my neuron connections. It's like body, you know, we don't want our body to become so weak, so we need to exercise to keep our body fit. So same thing, we need to exercise our brain, right? So here I'm sharing today is about using images and using sound wave. Okay, I end my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a really very interesting presentation that you just shared with us. And I'm also very thankful because I have an aging mother at home as well. And you just helped me understand a little bit more about how the aging brain is like. So perhaps from now on I can be a little bit more patient with my dear mommy at home.
Yes.
All right, so with that, thank you very much, Dr. Tang, for joining us today. And of course, this concludes our little segment here for insights for the Enabling Festival 2020. Now, if you have any further questions for Dr. Tang, or if you wish to find out more about the Enabling Festival 2020, please visit our Facebook page, Instagram, or website to see what we have lined up for you. So drop us a message or on any of our social media, and we really look forward to hearing from you. So thank you very much once again, Dr. Tang.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching our program. We hope you can help us to fill in a simple survey using the QR code provided at the end of the program. Now, this will help us to improve as well as to fulfill our funding requirements from our various funders. Please help. Now, if you have any questions or if you wish to find out more about the Enabling Festival 2020, please visit our Facebook page, Instagram, and website to see what we have lined up for you. Drop us a message on any of the social media platforms. You can also write to enablingfestival@gmail.com, and our colleagues will reply to you as soon as they can. Take care and stay safe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tang. I'm participating in the Enabling Festival this year. I'm the speaker, and I'll be on the Insight program. We hope you can support us by pledging $1 to the Enabling Festival 2020 via the link below. This $1 will enable the festival to further its cause and implement initiatives for collective impact, which has social benefits for the dementia community and the caregivers. So please support us for this meaningful cause.
When we cannot see, doesn't mean we'll get lost. When we cannot hear, it doesn't mean we cannot talk.